Come on, somebody. If you've ever stayed quiet to keep the peace and then walked away still feeling disrespected, overlooked, and drained, then you're not operating in your self power. You're operating out of survival. And if that is you, then you are in the right suite. Soft power is not about being quiet, but there is a certain capacity of your ability to be controlled. Question is simply by whom? And softness is not so much about tone as much as it is about control and restraint. If you are always explaining yourself, you are not in power. Listening to Sweet Talk, the podcast for women who move with intention, who want to lead with quiet power. I'm your host, LJ, and around here, we don't chase hustle. We architect results with grace, clarity, strategy, and God-led precision. I am here to help women lead strategically, peacefully, and gracefully. So if that's you, then you are in the right suite. A lot of women are not soft. They're suppressed. I used to be one of those, would stay quiet and just hope that my work would show for me, or the me that I gave people would come with a sense of credibility, and their ability to know me. Yeah, the lie detector determined that was a lie. So if you are someone who stays quiet, hoping that people will understand, or if you are someone who overextends themselves, you occasionally find yourself being nice over being kind because you're hoping that people will respect you. If you're the type of person who waits a lot and allows other people to kind of make decisions for you, then you're secretly, you're more than likely a type of person that is secretly hoping that it'll change. That is not peace. That is fear with a pretty outfit on. You're not actually solving the issue. You're just being silent, which is actually avoiding it. And therefore you keeping the peace is actually you avoiding conflict. We can take a note from Esther on this. She was not impulsive. She was not a fast speaker, which fast speaking is not an ultimate disqualification. One of my favorite mentors is a very powerful man of God, and he speaks fast, highly due to his background in sales. But that's neither here or there. The point is, Esther knew how to wait. Esther knew how to position herself, and Esther knew how to execute. Episode is brought to you by How to Soft CEO. If you've been called to build something real but quiet, then this free download gives you the exact mindset shifts, some strategies, and the verbiage that I used to build my brand without burnout. So grab yours at Soft and Sweet on Instagram, or tap the link in the bio or the show notes. She was strategic. She wasn't impulsive. Soft power is all about timing, discerning the time. And we can also take a few lessons from Jesus. One of those lessons is not everything deserves your response. You can still respond to disrespect or difficult people, but it doesn't have to be a verbal um, dialogue. It doesn't have to be a verbal conversation. Some responses will cost you your authority. If you're not skilled in your communication with people, then you could end up losing your credibility simply for your inability to meet people or understand people or communicate with those people. Silence is only a power when you choose it to be, not when you're choosing it out of fear, because you are giving power to the thing that is ultimately trying to weaken you in the end. Now let's bring this into your brand. Over posting, 9 times out of 10 will be received or viewed as insecurity. You're posting more so for the attention, not to actually show your value, not actually showing us what it is you offer, what it is we are following you for. Like, I understand that getting paid to be you is a thing, but everybody's personality and character doesn't look that way. And that structured rule is not taking into consideration the people who still are skillful, are still powerful, are still worth being influencers. Most of the time, people who over explain because they have a lack of authority. Also, when you run into people who are over engaging, being too nice instead of being kind, chances are they do not have boundaries. High level women, the difference between high level women and low level women, and this can be seen on the surface, is high level women do not chase attention. They build presence. And that's what is, I think they explain it now like being magnetic. But ultimately, that's what it is. Not chasing it, allowing it to come to you. If your brand requires constant noise to be seen, then yeah, it's not strong yet. So let's make it simple so that you can execute. Your assignment for this week: hold one boundary and no explaining. Saying things like, that doesn't work for me. End of sentence. I'm not available. End of sentence. I won't be continuing this. End of sentence. Say it once. Don't sugarcoat it. Over explaining is just a sign that you don't trust your own decision. Soft power is not silence. It's precision. You don't talk less because you have less to say. Speak less because you learned how to be clear. Comment the boundary that you're holding this week. And if this sharpened you, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Sweet Talk. If today's conversation stirred something in you, please don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe and send this to another powerful woman that needs it. For access to the Soft Power Suite Vault, behind the scenes footage, and digital products that will help you move in stillness, head on over to Soft and Sweet on Instagram or click on the link in the show notes. Until next time, remember, soft does not mean silent, and you don't need the world's permission to rise. See y'all next time.